Autonomy was a little bit of it, but it also was just the flexibility in how we lend and who we lend to, and how we can help the client, which at the end of the day is really what it's all about. Right. And so that brings me to I'll just say a little bit. So I signed with you guys on a Friday, and then on Monday you say, oh, well, we're leaving. And I was like, but to your credit, you weren't like giving me a hard sell or anything. You just kind of kept in contact, and when the time was right, we joined forces, and it happened to be right before COVID, and we got started in COVID. But I remember the retreat, and I just talked to Melissa about this, and I guess it was me meeting you guys and your team meeting me, and it was like the Avengers. Everybody had these different skill sets, but everybody seemed to have the same mission, different personalities, very diverse. That's what I loved about it, and that's what I still love about it. So talk a little bit about what your mission was when you said, all right, we're going to start over, we're going to be brokers, and this is the vision I want for our company.
So, that was really hard for us because when we switched back, we knew we were going to be starting over. We didn't have the exact same team that we did. And, we were a little frustrated. I'm going to admit at the time that we had drank the Kool-Aid, and we're very honest people. We like you said, we're not hard sellers. We're not going to go and sell someone on something because it's good for us. I think that's one of the biggest things with Andre and I is we constantly are always looking at like what's best for each person. Even if it isn't always what's best for us as individuals or as a company, we try to think about each individual, like truly putting people first, and that's how our businesses were built was, we would give to the community. We tried to not just be loan officers to our real estate partners, but to show them things that would help them in their business. And so when we came back into Keystone, it was Keystone at the time before we switched it to collab lending, we sat there for a while and we started doing loans like we had, and we were happy about that. But we wanted to figure out, besides doing loans, how can we help on a bigger scale? How can we put people first on a bigger scale? We just didn't know how to do it. And I don't know why at first we hadn't really thought too much about recruiting other loan officers and the impact we could have on their careers, which is where it started to lead and where everything is coming. Everything that we're doing now, the vision and the mission of collab lending is how can we take the knowledge we have? How can we take the passion we have for the industry? And even if we're not in the loan, how can we take all the goodness that we have over the last 18 years, all the good stuff, and how can we help everyone else so that when we are meeting with a loan officer, it isn't, you need to join us because we're going to do this when you come here. It's, all right, let's look at what you have going on and what you really want in life. And does it make sense for you to come on as a loan officer? Does it make sense for you to start your own business? And here we've built this course to help you start your own business. If that's what's better for you, we have that option. And, the end all be all at the end is the ongoing support through the franchise that's opening before the end of this year. We like having options for people where we can impact them in the way that fits best for them.
Right. Did you have anything to add to that,
Andre? Yeah, I think when we came back, Megan and I were kind of, I don't want to say bummed, but we were a little unsure of whether we wanted to get back into the rat race of like us being the face and us being everything and us networking and meeting realtors. And that's kind of, when we decided we wanted to build a business of like, how do we get other people to where we were? Because we know what that does for other people. And also, you hear it so often, just bringing fresh blood into the business, and diversity and women into this business as well, because it's such a male dominated industry,
Mm-hmm.
and an older people industry as well. So like bringing fresh people into it, because it kind of goes back to the first question you asked, BA, like nobody graduates, high school or college going, I want to be a loan officer. Like, you fall into it, and people don't know that there is such an opportunity. And some of the people that we have on our team are just like, man, like, I love my job and I can make this kind of money, like, just by helping people. It's an incredible career and it's really rewarding. So Megan and I kind of sought out that mission of like, how can we bring more people onto the team and give them the same things that, people have given us, really is what it came down to.
Yeah. And when I started, maybe we were 12, 13, 14 people, and now we're in the 30s. Is that pretty accurate? And did you envision, let's say 10 years ago, that you would have created what you've created? Because it is pretty special. And I've been a banker, I've been correspondent, I've been a broker. What you create is really unique as far as a corporate culture, the diversity, how you train, because you guys have been part of so many mortgage mastermind groups. So all that trickles down to like a lot of my old ass, and then you got a bunch of young bucks in there. Did you envision this? Like, you pinch yourself?
I mean, for me, it was, I left an employer in 2014 and I had an assistant at that time. And I mean, I was just going to do 5 to 10 loans a month. And like, it was going to be me and Spencer, and we were going to be happy just doing that. Like,
and you met
and then you met the force that is Megan.
And then in 2015, I met Megan, and she had other plans for me. But absolutely not. Definitely never. I think from anything that I've learned is like, you don't know what's going to happen in 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So for people to say like, I don't know, I never thought of this would happen. So I never say never anymore, because you don't know what's going to happen. So I don't know I don't know what Megan's dream was.
Yeah, I don't know either. I just, I do have one of those brains that work really fast. And Andre, it's too bad that at least Laban got warned by my father. I don't think you got warned by my father, which he probably would have done if he had met you before we made this decision. No, I mean, for me, it just, I have tons of ideas, right? And it's all like, I love solving problems. And especially if I can solve a problem for someone that's really like eating at them or eating into, if it's their career, their life, whatever it is, like, I feel like there's always a solution. And that's where everything is kind of led to. And it's not easy. Like, this is uncomfortable. Like, this is really uncomfortable for us, although we are so excited about the course and the franchise, because we know the impact that it's going to have on loan officers, real estate brokerages who want to be able to grow their business but don't have an avenue. We know that this is going to help them. It still is so scary, because we're taking all this knowledge and all this experience that we have, and we're bundling it up, and we're not quite there yet to put it out there for everyone. And we want to be there because we're used to hustling and selling, and we don't have time to do that with the team we have right now. And so relying on other people that you're teaching is a totally different position to be in. Right. And so, no, I didn't ever expect to completely not be in every aspect of the loans, or even, but I know if I tried to be in a loan right now, people would get angry because I get pulled in so many directions. It's not fair, right? Yeah.
So I'm going to dig deeper on what you're talking about, this franchise. But before we do that, just how many states are we helping families in right now? Name them. I'll name them. Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Ohio, Illinois, North Carolina, Florida, and Puerto Rico, right? Did I miss anything?
Nope, you got them all.
Which precipitated, our original name was Keystone Alliance Mortgage, and it didn't translate to other states outside of Pennsylvania. So we just recently changed to Collab Lending. Talk about how you came up with that name, if you want to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely need to start kind of talking about the direction. So one of Megan's ideas was like, I'm going to do a podcast with or without you. And I was like,